All right. Hello and good evening. Welcome to the In Sports Show with your host, Lou Tenor from East Hanover, New Jersey, and co-host Steve Davidson from the District of Columbia. Catch the Inheads team every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, join the conversation by calling 512-543-4662. This is a product of the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, prepare yourself, stand up, and get ready to be enhanced.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome once again to the Enhanced Sports Show. It's just after 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, and I'd like to welcome you all. For those of you who don't know, my name is Lou Tenor, and yes, that is my real name, just in case you're all wondering. The number to call is 512-543-4662. I'll repeat again, 512-543-4662. Got a lot to talk about as usual on the show here. So remember, we do one topic at a time and one person answer at a time, but I will get to everybody. So let's keep that in mind. All right? I don't leave anybody out. So let's just keep that in mind. Okay, and I think we have Steve with us, I hope. Welcome back. Steve Ken, is that you? Steve? No, Springfield, Mass. 413. Is that you are here? Okay, Steve. And we have Matthew for the first time calling us. Good. Glad to hear you. Matthew is new to this show, but he's no stranger to the world of sports talk radio. He and I once were involved in a show with Betty Cantley, the woman who discovered me 7 years ago, and it was a great show as well. We got another caller coming in from DC. Let me guess, Dana? It's Dana. I thought so. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about. We're gonna get started with the standings, of course. Oh wait, no. I'll first go over the monthly schedule. March is a big month in the sports world. We got spring training, which is starting now. The Big Classic, which is going to be starting on Tuesday. That's 20 teams from different nations, all battling for baseball supremacy, and of course the start of March Madness, which to me has already begun because the conference tournaments are underway. And then a week from tomorrow, Selection Sunday. Ooh, I can't wait for that. Oh yeah. All right. So as usual, during this time of the month, we do the monthly standings, and I'm going to start with the NHL. So just give me a minute here, and we'll take care of that. That's something we always do at the first of the month, Matthew. So if you're wondering, what am I doing? Now you know. All right. So we'll begin with the NHL with the standings, and it goes like this. Especially now since we're in March, there's only like 6 weeks left in the season, so it's getting very hectic here. All right. So to begin with, in the Eastern Conference, the Bruins, they did it again. 49-8-5, 103 points. Oh, please. The Leafs are second with 84 points at 38-16-8. The Lightning are 37-20, 79 points. The Sabres are 32-25-4, 68 points. A much improved team, even without Jack Eichel. Senators, 31-26-4, 68 points. 66 points is the Panthers at 30-27-6. The Red Wings, looking to break that 6-year drought, are 28-25-9, 65 points. And the Canadiens, 56 points at 26-32-4. Pretty much out of the picture. But Detroit can maybe sneak in. Now, I want to make sure one thing. Okay, the Boston Bruins are doing great, 103 points, and they are the fastest team to hit 100 points since the Canadiens did in the 76-77 season. But Also, remember that was a time when we didn't have shootouts or even overtime in the league. That didn't come into effect until 1983 with the overtime, the 5 minutes win, lose, or draw. So this is the fastest without that. But here's the thing for you hockey guys out there. I think Matt's a hockey guy. They are cruising along in the regular season, but will they have enough to get through the playoffs, or can we see an upset around here? Because I've seen teams before, say like the Tampa Bay Lightning, they cruised the regular season not that long ago, and they got ousted in the first round. So, a lot of people are thinking, well, they got the league lead. They're cruising along everybody. They're beating everybody up. They're going to be a shoo-in to make the finals. Not so fast. It's happened to some of the best teams in the league throughout the years, and we've seen historic upsets, 8 being a 1 seed and whatnot since this format began. So I'm gonna go with Steve Kent first. Steve, what are do the Bruins have enough stamina to carry through the season? Yes. Reducing, yes. Right. Okay. Yeah. Gracie too. Wow. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Right. Exactly. Oh, don't. Yes. Right. Yes. They have, especially now. Especially now. Yes. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Now, what was your? There's another. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's what I thought you'd say. Yeah. Right. All right. So, what do you make on the take of Jonathan Quick? First he was supposed to go to the Blue Jackets, which didn't make any sense at all. I mean, why would you take a player who was on the verge of going to a playoff team to a team that was dead in the water like week 2 of the season? Luckily, they made a smart move and sent him back to the Golden Knights, which are a former competitor to the LA Kings. I mean, that I think is a better move than sending a top-notch goaltender to a team that has no chance at all. I mean, when I read that the other day, I'm like, why is he going there? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Any thoughts on Jonathan? Any thoughts on Jonathan Quick going to Vegas? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Oops. Mhm. Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. 2012 against the Devils and 2014 against the Rangers. Right, Diane? Matthew, your take on this, since I think you're a hockey guy, or are you baseball? Hmm. Right. I get it. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, no, it isn't. Right. And right. And Greg's here too. Hello, Greg. Yeah. Steve, Steve Davidson. Any thoughts so far? Okay. All right. So I'll move along with the rest of the standings right here. In the Metropolitan Division, it's getting close here between the top two teams here. Carolina Hurricanes, 88 points. The Devils, 86 points. Got that, Diane? Get a hold of. I was gonna say, get a hold of Mike. Never mind. Here he is. Looking good for the Devils, right, Mike? Looking good. Okay. All right. Rangers, 79 points. Hold on, let me do this again. Okay. Carolina and the Devils are tied in wins, actually. The Hurricanes are 40, 12, and 8, but the Devils are 40, 15, and 6 with 86 points. Rangers are 79 points at 35, 19, and 9, thanks to that loss to the Bruins today. Yuck. Islanders creeping up at 32, 25, and 8, 72 points. Eric, we're looking for you. Pens, 31, 21, and 9, 71 points. Capitals, 30, 27, and 6, 66 points. Sorry, Steve. Criers, Liars, Flyers, 23, 20, 11, 57 points. I was being sarcastic. And the Lonely Blue Jackets, you ready for this, guys? 20, 36, and 6, 46 points. You see what I mean? You see what I mean, Steve? I know about salary cap, but to send Quick to a losing team like that doesn't make any sense at all. I know it's about salary, but still, no. Okay, to the West. The Stars are 33, 16, and 13, 79 points. I think they have the most overtime losses in the league, if I'm not mistaken. The Wild, 35, 21, 6, 78 points. Avalanche, 73 points at 34, 20, and 5. Jets, 35, 25, and 2, 72 points. The Yahoos, 30, 23, and 66 points. You call them the Predators. Blues, 27, 29, and 5, 59 points. The Coyotes, an improvement, 21, 32, and 9, 51 points. And the Blackhawks are still the Blackhawks, 21, 35, and 5, 47 points. What happened to that franchise, really? I mean, seriously. Since 2016, 2015, they haven't done anything at all. Okay, Golden Knights, 37, 19, and 6, 80. Yeah, I know. Okay. Golden Knights, 37, 19, and 6, 80 points. Kings, 78 points at 35, 20, and 8. Kraken, 35, 21, 6, 76 points. Also 76 to the Island Oilers at 34, 21, and 8. Flames are 67 points at 27, 22, and 13, going nowhere fast. Canucks, 24, 32, and 5, 53 points. The Ducks, 21, 34, 8, 50 points. And the Sharks, forget it, 18, 32, and 12, 48 points. Yuck. So I'll read down some of the other trades that happened this weekend. It was wild for the most part. And it goes like this. And my connection here is some difficulties. Okay. All right. Video problem has a problem. It's difficulties, but we're still okay. We're all here together, right, guys? All right. Okay. That's the important part. Okay. So the trade deadline goes like this. The Wild acquired John Klingberg from the Ducks. The defenseman signed a one-year deal with the Ducks after not getting a longer deal in the offseason. It pays off as it hands with a playoff position team that has a chance to show what he can do in the postseason. He'll help the Wild's power play and the rest of the Ducks that have defensive issues this season. Minnesota, which earlier traded Jordan Greenway to the Sabres, also added center Oscar Sundqvist from the Red Wings as he won the Stanley Cup title with the Blues back in 2019. And they finally got one. Wow. By the way, the trade deadline was yesterday at 3 o'clock. So, yeah. The Penguins acquired Nick Bonio from the Sharks. The terms of a three-team deal. Montreal got involved in 50% of Bonio's salary. He played for the Penguins during their Stanley Cup runs in 2016 and 17. Will slot their bottom six. The Sharks get 2 draft picks at 6'5", 211 Lake Superior State defenseman Avard Henriksen. No relation, I think, to that other hockey player. Tony Sund went to Montreal in the deal and is playing now in Sweden. Yes. Okay. So I check and see what we got here. Okay. The Flyers trade Zach McEwen to the Kings for Brendan Lemieux. I don't think it's in relation to some of the other Lemieux, or maybe it is. McEwen has outscored Lemieux 4-0. McEwen was just activated from a broken jaw. Oh, boy. Both players have been suspended during their careers, including Lemieux for 5 games for biting the hand of Brady Tkachuk, Keith's boy. The Flyers also got a 2024 fifth-round pick. Tkachuk was a dirty player anyway. Oh, got some news for you, Diane. Canucks trade Curtis Lazar to the Devils. His kill penalties have won 51.9% of his faceoffs. Let's round up to 52%. Round numbers. Lazar is signed for 2 more seasons with a $1 million cap hit. The Canucks get back a 2024 fourth-round pick to clear out some cap space. That might help the Devils even more. Yeah. I think you Devils fans might be happy about that. Coyotes not paid to play. Yeah, but the Coyotes have no chance anyhow. All right, so yeah. I figured you would be. Yeah, so the Devils, so it looks like, the Devils are, fighting for that number 1 seed now. I think they can get it if they can keep up the pace with the Hurricanes. They've done this is their best season in 7 years so far. So got to keep it up with the Devils here. See what happens from there. Yeah. So, any thoughts from my Jersey crew? It's obviously Mike the players at this point. The question is, they're just fighting for seed games now. I mean, I think maybe they'll have a chance to make the second seed. I don't know about maybe number 1, but it's still too early to tell. We got 6 weeks left, guys, so we have to wait and see what happens with that. I wait till you're right. First week in April. Okay, so now we'll go to the NBA. We'll go to the NBA now, and the thing is going like this: the Bucks are having an easy time this season. They've won 17 in a row and lead the conference at 45-17, which is disgusting. Yuck. The Celtics, who blew a huge lead last night against the Nets, a 28-point lead, and they lost to the Nets finally as they broke a 4-game losing streak. But they're 45-19 a game back. The Sixers 40-22, 5 back. Cavaliers 39-26, 7 back, 7.5 back. The Knicks are making moves here, guys. They've won now 8 in a row. and are climbing up. Climbing up, they are about a game and a half out of getting a home advantage in the first round, as they are 38-27 ahead of the Nets. Mm-hmm. Say that again. And the Nets are 35-28, 10.5 play, as they have been sliding. They've only won 2 games straight deadline. That's awful. Bringing up the rear, the Heat are 33-31, 13 back, 13.5 back of the Hawks at 32-31. The Raptors are 31-33, 15 back, and the Wizards are 30-32, 15 back. Steve, you want to comment on your Wizards? Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. I think we have another caller here coming in. Would you state your name, please, for the record? Um, or do we? Hello? Oh, all right, moving on. All right, so anybody else have any thoughts on that? Or Matt, Matthew, any thoughts? Mhm. Yes. Right. Yes. Yeah, they do. Anyone else have any thoughts? Uh, yes, yes. How do you explain the 28 point choke though last night, Steve? I'll bet. Yeah, of course. Close it out. And yeah. Oh, right. Obviously. Yeah. Yeah. They sure have. Nope. Exactly. Uh, hmm. Okay, moving on. The Bulls are 28, 29 and 35, 17 back. The Pacers 20 and 36, 18 back. The Magic 27 and 37, 19 back. The Hornets 20 and 45, 28 and a half back. And the Pistons 15 and 40, 30 and a half back. Dana, Dana, what's going on? Yeah, I hear something from the background from your end. All right. Oh, if only Taylor was here, I mean, he'd be very disappointed in the Pistons so far. 15-48. Yuck. Okay. In the West, the Nuggets are 45-19, have a 6-game lead over the Grizzlies, and John Morant's in big trouble. I suppose you might have heard about what happened in Morant, I'm gonna explain that right now. I'm gonna explain it right now. It's what happened with Morant. For those of you who don't know, just let me get the article here. Okay. Well, I know it's here someplace. Okay. He had a video Instagram last night, and his live evidence where he displayed a gun at a nightclub has prompted investigation by the league. Not so smart. We are aware of the situation that Morant has posted. An investigation is underway, said the spokesman Mike Bass. Morant's live Instagram message session was at 5:19 p.m., hours before they lost to the Nuggets. Morant was dancing shirtless and rapping along to the music at the club and was seen holding a handgun in his right hand. That's pretty stupid right there. Yes, Steve, that does make him an idiot. That does make him an idiot. So the video came in the wake of a Washington Post story that detailed 2 incidents involving Morant over the summer, resulting in police reports, but no arrests were made. Well, they should have been. In the second incident, according to police reports obtained by the Post, a 17-year-old boy alleged Morant emerged from his home with a gun in his waistband and his hand on the weapon. A fight broke back in the backyard, his backyard that is, between the boy and Morant during a pickup game in his backyard. The other incident was kind of like a minor one. It involved a security guard in a mall parking lot. Yeah, what is wrong with this guy? I mean, he has an incident. John Morant of the Grizzlies. I mean, we had an incident with him earlier. Yes. You're holding a gun on an Instagram post. How stupid can you be? That's that is yeah, Colorado. Open, yes, right. You can say that again. I mean, really, there is no reason for that whatsoever. What was he thinking? What was he thinking to begin with? Okay, moving along. So the Kings are 37-25-7 back, big improvement from last year. The Suns 35 and 29-10 back. The Warriors 34 and 30-11 back, and the Mavericks 33 and 31-12 back. Okay. In the play-in spot right now, the Wolves are 33 and 32, 12 and a half back. The Clippers 33 and 33, 13 back. The Jazz and Pelicans 31 and 33, both 14 back. Bringing up the rear, don't count the Lakers out just yet. They might be able to sneak in if they can keep it up. They're 30 and 34, 15 back. The Thunder and Blazers are 29 and 34, 15 and a half back. The Spurs 16 and 47, 28 and a half back, and the Rockets grounded at 13 and 49, 31 back. Oof. Boy. Yeah. No, Houston doesn't have a problem. It is the problem. Does that sum it up for you? The what, brothers? Well, which conference are you discussing, East or West? Well, Denver. I think Denver would be the front runner. Grizzlies and Kings might be a sleeper pick, but I think Denver's going to take it. I mean, you got Booker for crying out loud. Now for the East, it could be a toss up because you got 5 teams that are going to be vying for playoff spots. The Knicks look like they might get home advantage if they can get past the Cavaliers, which I think might happen. So the East is more tight than the West right now. The Bucks and the Celtics. Okay, yeah, the Bucks have won 17 in a row, but the Knicks are really creeping up, and you know 8.5 back, it's doable with 6.5 weeks to go. May seem a little bit of a long shot, but they can make a serious run. Should they make the playoffs, which I think at this point they probably will. A far cry from where they were back in December when they only had 10 games won in the season so far. But they have really stepped up since the beginning of the year. They're floundering, honey. Like I said, they've only won 2 games since the trade deadline. Yeah. I'm not, but don't be surprised because when you lose your best players, that's what happens. Well, sometimes you got to factor that in. Oh yeah, exactly. Hmm. Boy. Oh, I won't. I won't. I wish I couldn't. All right. So for you XFL fans out there, for like about 2 or 3 of you, oh boy, just a little joke, folks. Just a little joke. Just a little joke. Okay, so it goes like this: the DC Defenders and the St. Louis Battlehawks are 2-0, and the Seattle Sea Dragons and the Vegas Vipers are 0-2. Oh dear. In the South Division, we have the Houston Roughnecks at 2-0. The Renegades and Rams of San Antonio are 1-1, and the Orlando Guardians are 0-2. Has anybody really been paying attention to the XFL so far, or no? There is a game. There is a game today, and that will be Seattle and Vegas. That's at 7 o'clock. If you have the channel FX, you have it. If you don't, I can't help you there. Look for FX. No, no, Fox doesn't have it. Fox has USFL, and I'm more paying attention to that. Right, correct. Hmm. FX and the X. Hmm. eh, Get the XFL and X. That seems kind of fitting, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah. I did not make that up, people. Okay, let's get this straight. Okay, so now for another bizarre story of the week. I think some of you might have been following this. Georgia, a former Georgia football state star, Jalen Carter, who was expected to be one of the top draft picks in next month's draft, was charged with reckless driving and racing in conjunction with a crash that killed a teammate and a recruiting staff member back in January. Ugh, that was pretty bad. Yeah. The Athens County Police Department issued an arrest warrant on Wednesday by the Associated Press, alleges that Carter was racing his 21 Jeep Track Hawk against the 2021 Ford Expedition, which I wouldn't do, driven by staffer Chandler LaCroix, that led to January 15th crash. The announcement came hours after the Atlanta Journal Constitution that Carter was present at the scene of the crash, later providing shifting accounts of the wreck. Devin Wilcox, the linesman, and LaCroix were both killed. Carter is at the combine this week and was scheduled to speak to reporters as part of scheduled media availability, but a league spokesperson told reporters that Carter did not speak because a number of him and other players were undergoing physicals. I'm surprised though he's not being charged for murder. He's only got away with misdemeanors so far. I mean, come on, he killed 2 people. And what do you think that his draft status is going to be though when the draft comes next month? I mean, he was one of the top. I mean, I think this is really going to. Let me ask. Yeah, but Matthew, your thoughts on this? This could be seriously damaging to. No. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah, but the thing is, but they want to draft him, though. But will anybody want to draft? But will anybody want to draft him though? That's the thing. Well, my condolences for the sap who does, especially Atlanta. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Yes. Right. Anyone else? Mike, Diane, anybody? Uh-huh. Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Right. Yeah. Folks, I wait. Yeah. Folks, I got wait. Yeah. We're back. We're back. We're back. Oh my God. I gotta bring in this call right. I gotta bring in this call because this is a very important call. For the record, would you please state your name? Yes, please. Folks, this is not just a caller. This is not just a caller. It's Betty. This is what this is my big sister and my mentor. This is the woman who discovered me 7 years ago. And it is so grateful. It is so grateful that Betty on here. Betty, welcome back. And uh, and Betty actually is the original host of this show. She hosted the first like 7 or 8 shows back in November 2017, and then I was asked to take over. And I do want to thank Betty for this because she is the reason why and Kevin. They're the reasons why I'm here. I'm still doing this, and I owe you two a great debt of thanks. So Betty, what's on your mind sports wise this evening? Yeah, we can say this evening now. Nothing. Ah. But with the baseball, of course, is coming up. So, what do you think with your Indian Guardians this year? Emerson. Yeah, I know. Well, it's always nice to have you here. No, I mean, because it's tightening up in the East. I mean, the Knicks are coming on strong as well. And I'm a happy camper. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I am. Yeah. Well, you're okay. Okay, I'll buy that. Yeah. Right. I think so too. I mean, yeah. Ooh. Wow. That is. You're right. You're right. Yes. Maybe. But I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna live up to the legacy of his dad. That's pretty hard to live up to. You're always thinking, well, the offspring. I'm sure he's going to be just like his dad. Not always the case. Let me ask. Let me ask Greg that question. Mhm. Yeah. Right. The Griffies. Yes. Alex is here too. Alex here. Let me get Greg's thoughts on that with LeBron and some college basketball thoughts too, because the college basketball season is coming down to the final week, and Seton Hall needs all the help they can get. Right, Greg? Yes. No, no, at large. Got to win all 4 games, Greg. All four. Got to win all 4 games. Yeah. Oh. Ugh. Yeah. Exactly. If you give up a 10-point lead with just under a minute to go, I mean, you are seriously in a lot of trouble here. I mean, that is just there is no excuse for that at all. So I'm going to go to the standings right now with our Seton Hall Pirates. Yes, go on. Uh, Oh, I got. Oh, I have an idea. Right, right. Hmm. That's Arkansas. Yes, yes. Good old Rick. Good old Rick. Good old Rick. By the way, if anybody's paying, by the way, if Texas and Kansas. Texas is up 28-18, 3 minutes to go in the first. Okay, so while we're on the subject of college basketball, for those of you who follow it, I want everybody to take what conference they follow and what who your team is, and do they have a chance of making the chance of getting in the playoffs? Mhm. Yeah, yeah, right. Uh huh. Yeah. Ah, I could. I could get it. Simple. Simple. Stream it. Stream the game. Stream the game on the internet. I do. The computer. Right. Okay. So what I want from the audience here is to tell me the conference you follow and the team you follow. For those of you who follow the game at all. All right. So Steve, tell me your conference and your team, and they'll leave a chance at all. Right. If it freezes over. Uh, understandable. Understandable. Right. It's a And remember the key word, boys and girls. The key word is if. Steve Kent. Right. Yeah. Go ahead. Right. Yes. Right. Box. A gopher. Right. Yes. Okay. Or the depth either. Alex, who do you follow in college basketball? I see. Hmm. Right. Betty, before you go, who do you follow college basketball at all? Aw. If you had, go ahead. Okay. Okay. Well, if you had a guess, I mean, I guess it's probably the Ohio Conference. All right. Steve Davidson. Don't tell me. Let me guess. ACC, right? No. No. Aha. Okay. I mean, yes. That's next week. All right. Matthew. Matthew. Oh, mm. Yeah. Yes. I've seen it. I've seen it. Dana, your thoughts on for college basketball? Forget it. Forget it. No chance. Uh, yeah, but Dana, they've only won two games in conference this year. Yeah. Well, how do you explain someone like Patrick Ewing, who was a great player, becomes such a horrible coach? That I don't get at all. Enough said. All right. Mikey? Yeah. Mike, as I have to guess. Wow. No, no. Your team is Seton Hall, right? Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna. They got to win. I think all four games in the Big East tournament next week to have a shot at getting in. I mean, it's either going to be an automatic bid or nothing at all. Forget the large bid. That is out of the question. For- You can say that again, Diane. I know you don't follow college basketball, but if you had to make a choice, who would you take? Well, as much as I'm a Seton Hall fan, I don't know about that. So I think I got to be a little bit realistic here, and I think I'm going to have to go. If I can find it. Oh, I'm gonna have to go. I'm going to go with Marquette, Marquette and Xavier. Villanova is well, they're on the bubble. They're on the bubble. They are Michigan. Marquette. Okay, so for Villanova, now they're 16 and 14 overall, but in the conference 10-9. So yes, they could make it as an enlarged bid, but I think they would need to secure at least 2 or 3 wins to really secure it. If they want to get like a yeah, but I think it'd be like a 10 or 11 seed, I think, or maybe even lower than that. My cousin will not be happy if this doesn't go through. Oh boy, she'd kill me. She should be happy though that they won the 2016 tournament though in a buzzer beater. I remember that very well. Okay, so we covered that. Yeah, yeah. All right, Steve Davidson, you're and the rain will come in. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Oh Noah, can you get that arc ready? Oh wait. Your UFC report. Okay, Steve, your UFC report. Go to it. That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. Pronunciation is important, but we don't really hold it against you here. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a little bit late for that, Steve. Right. 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 Yeah. But I heard there was an interesting fight last Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, or was it last Sunday? Right, Steve. I heard there was an interesting fight though last weekend. Wasn't there? I heard Steve Davidson. Yeah. Yep. That's the one. Yeah. Little brother. Little brother. Hmm. Right. Yeah. Easy. Easy. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Sure did. Easy. Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. So, what was your take on the fight though last Sunday, Steve? No, no, no. Yeah. So let me read this. So let me reiterate this. Okay. So Jake Paul is no longer undefeated. Tommy Fury, the younger brother of heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson, beat the YouTube sensation in a split decision 74-75, 76-73, 73 in Saudi Arabia. Now that's a split decision right there. Wow. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Steven was Steve. It sounded more the ending of the original Rocky, to be honest with you. Oh boy. Well, it did. So after two failed attempts, well, it did. After two failed attempts, they finally got the grudge match going on last Sunday night. Paul is not only known for his social media exploits, but has taken the boxing world by storm over the past 3 years and becoming a star attraction. For what reason, I have no idea. Fury, who is a reality star in the UK, and Paul's most toughest experienced fighter by far in his career. Heading into the fight, Paul was a slight favorite. He has a rematch of his clause in his contract and say he will use it as he thought he won the fight and said, ain't going to be no rematch. Ain't going to be no rematch. Oh, no. And did not agree with the decision. Paul said he had a health issue in camp and an arm injury. Fury now has a record of 9-0 in professional fights. It was a pretty close throughout, as Paul did have a slight knockdown in the eighth round, but that really didn't count. But I heard it was like one of the best fights in UFC history, and I missed it. Yeah, great. What a fight, though. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Yes, right. All right, Diane, your trivia, if you have any. All right, because remember, we go by the book here. Oh, okay. Larry Zonka? I Chuck Howard. Chuck Howard. Yes. All right. All right. Moving on. Gotta be Emmett. Gotta be Emmett. 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 Emmett Smith. No. No. Go ahead, Die. Go ahead. All right. Move on. Ernie Nevers. Okay. And never say never. Oh no. Oh. You're gonna hate yourself when you find out the answer, people, because I already know. Nope. 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 You mind if Die? You mind if I tell him? You guys are gonna hate yourselves when you find out, especially you New York people. You're gonna hate yourselves. Did the Jets ring a bell? Did the Jets ring a bell, people? Obviously not. The New York Jets were the New York Titans, and the New York Jets were the Titans until 1963. 63, yes. All right. It's a good question. Um, yeah. No. Yes. Mm-hmm. I think I remember. Yep, I think I recall that. 1920. That's when the NFL was first starting. Around that time, I think I do. That's when the NFL was starting to come into business here. I prefer fits and the tantrums, but that's okay. Oh boy. All right. Okay, I'll be sure to check that out. Obviously, obvious choice. Okay, gotta look it up on your diction. Gotta look up in your encyclopedia. Okay, so on we go. All right, Stephen Curry looks like he's going to be back sooner than everybody thinks, and maybe as early as tomorrow. Curry went down with a lower left leg injury last month, and it became the Warriors' top goal to stay afloat. After surviving 11 games without him in November, the Warriors think they can do it again. But now, as Curry's return draws near, the Warriors did more than that, as they went 5-0 without him on the homestand, last night being the Pelicans. The Warriors went 7-3 without him, and 4 games of 500, and now fifth in the West. So they are also a dangerous team to be um, reckoned with. So keep your eye on that. The team has figured out. Um, Hold on, let me get a hold of this person here. Progress. Okay, so the team has figured out the roles. I think we were in good condition, says Clay Thompson. Well, if Clay says that, I think we're fine. Team, we're having fun above all. You know how important these games are the rest of the stretch. We want to get a home court advantage, especially in the first round. So it's a challenge to us. I knew he was going to get this number wrong. That's why you got to come in early, guys. How long have I been doing this show now? 5.5 years? Yeah, yeah. By the way, we'll take care of that when the time comes. Well, I'm not going to be involved in that myself. Well, I'm not going to be directly involved in it, but I'll keep track of it. Okay. So in each of their last 4 games, listen this statistic, guys. In each of the last 4 games, the Warriors have come back from double digits. This is the first time in 4 straight games after trailing by double-digit numbers. How about that? Okay, and we have another. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have another special caller coming in. This is actually Pastor Francis from Buffalo. Good evening, Pastor. Pastor, are you there? Good evening, sir. Welcome to the show. I, I've been in touch with this gentleman for yeah. Now, Pastor Francis, you're from Buffalo, but you follow all New York, New Jersey teams, I hear, correct? Oh, you're from you transferred over there. You're from closer to Meyer. Okay, So you're just a new transfer. I get it. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So what do you make of what do you make of the Knicks making some moves in the East though? Because they've been pretty good lately. Yes. Surprised? Yeah. Yes. In more recent years. Now, I want to take a look here at the Nets because last night was a game that I wish I could have seen, and it'd be one you had to believe. The Nets look like they're going to go their fifth straight loss last night as they face the dreaded Celtics, who you know I can't stand, at the TD Garden last night. The Nets trailed the Celtics by as much as Ray Fiskus 28 points, and of course, usually means the game was over, right? Right. So, and that's what's even worse than the loss to the Knicks on Wednesday night where the Nets they down. They were down, but not out. At one point in the game, the Nets turned to each other and said, "Hey, look, guys, we can't go down like this. We got to get our heads together right now. Otherwise, we're going to be out of the playoff race." So, in a strange way, it kind of brought them together, said by forward Cam Johnson. It also became a catalyst for remarkable turn of events as Nets came all the way back from 28 down to beat the Celtics following their second wins to the trade deadline. I'm like, thank you, thank you. This was the largest comeback by any team in the league this year. So the Celtics were all bad as Jaylen Brown scored 35 points for Boston. Yuck. I think we took our foot off the gas pump too soon, and that's how it went from a sure win to a loss. Jason scored 22 points. Good. Did you happen to see the game last night, Pastor? Ah, yeah. Yeah. That was a dagger there. That was a dagger. Well, the thing is though, one player is bad, but when you lose two in the same week, that's pretty devastating right there. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yes. Yep. Considerably. Last decade. Yes. Right. Right. Okay, Steve, your thoughts? The Nets. Hmm. Yeah. What is it? The Super Friends versus Legion of Doom? Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask more of a diehard Nets fan. Mikey, what are your thoughts? Yeah. Hmm. No, no, it isn't. Anybody else have any thoughts? or should I just move on? Yeah, go on. Go on. Who was going to say something? Yes, Father, Pastor. Yes. Yeah. Right. Pastor, who should the Jets go for? Pastor, who should the Jets go for a quarterback? Yes. No, no, no. He's washed up. That's true. I'm not selling Jimmy G. I think I have to go with Carr. I mean, Jimmy G gets hurt too often, and we don't want another injured player on our list, especially a quarterback. I mean, that would just be another disappointment. I don't think I want. I don't think I want Garoppolo. I would have to go with Carr. Yeah, I have to go with Carr. No, no. Let me ask Mike. Mike, who do you think they should go with? Yes. No, 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 no. No way. Not a prayer. Oops. We rather have Fred. We actually want Fred Rogers. No, no. Oh, okay. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yeah. Can you say that, boys and girls? I know you could. Okay, so moving along. All right. Max Domi will head to the Dallas Stars. The announcement was made back on early yesterday morning or late Thursday night. Domi alongside goaltender Dylan Wells in exchange for goaltender Ashton Kudobin, a 2025 second round pick. For those of you who follow hockey as long as I have, Max Domi's father was also in the league playing for the Maple Leafs as one of the dirtiest, probably the dirtiest player in the NHL of all time, especially against Game 5 in the Devil Series back in 2000. Man, that game was ugly. Ugh. Mike, I think you might remember that. Yeah. But that game was nasty. Domi was a dirty player. Well, well, how about like fire like sun? Mm-hmm. Like I said, Diane, like father like son. Okay, in hockey, yes, and in football. All right, so while we're also on college basketball, there is a player out there who has done phenomenally well this season, but doesn't get a lot of recognition because his school isn't really well known. The school is Detroit Mercy, and the player's name is Anthony Davis. He was going for the all-time scoring record, though, in the NCAA. However, uh, yeah, as time expired, he came up just short of tying Pistol Pete Maravich's record for most points in Division One with 3,667 points. What's worse was they lost to Youngstown State in the first round in the Horizon League tournament. Ugh. Davis, a rare fifth-year senior, entered the game on Thursday, needing 26 points and came up with 22 points in the loss. Oh boy. Afterwards, he said felt good about returning for a fifth year, as father Mike is the head coach. Aha. Davis was not only looking to break the scoring record, but to land Detroit Mercy to their first big dance appearance in over a decade. Now you can say goodbye to that. But his days may not be over because Detroit Mercy could be invited to the CBI tournament, or some other, well, second or third ranked tournament, which will allow Davis to continue his quest to break the record. But I got to tell you guys, I don't know if they're really deserving of it because they had a miserable season to begin with. They were only 14 and 19 overall and 9-11 in conference play. So unless they get invited, I don't really see it happening. but you can't deny this player's success. In the fifth year he's done. I wonder if he's going to make it to the NBA. He is a great shooter. I mean, I don't know if you can compare him to Pistol Pete, but in his own right, this guy is a star. But if he played for more of a more well-known school, let's say Detroit Mercy, I think he got a lot more attention than he has now. So, any thoughts on this Detroit Mercy star Davis? Anyone can answer. Please do. Right, being such from a small school. Right. Uh no. Well, yeah. Yes. Yes. Right. I think he'd be great. You know, but just being from a small school which nobody really hasn't even heard of except for people in Detroit, he doesn't get the recognition he deserves. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen in the June draft. If he's going to go at all. And mhm. Khalil Mack, yes. Buffalo, right? Okay, she's back. Yeah, so I kind of get that. All right, anybody other thoughts on that, or move on? Okay, all right. Now something I think is sounding completely absurd, but this is considered a sport. Has anybody ever heard of something called slap fighting? You have. Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, because I think it's ridiculous. First of all, I mean, you have two people just slapping out of each other for almost no reason at all. I'm like, because I saw an advertisement for while I was watching the Knicks game on Wednesday. Like, this is a sport. This is the most barbaric thing I've ever seen. Yeah, they do consider it a sport. Yeah, I mean, I saw that commercial. Like, what is this? You got people just slapping, going slap happy for each other to win a fight. Yeah, I just don't see how this is. Yeah, well, dodgeball isn't really considered a sport either. So, although some people think it is. Oh yeah. Well, depending on how you. Yeah, yeah. So here's how it is. Okay, imagine a 4-year-old invented the rules for a combat sport. Well, okay. Uh, whether you have in your head, you're probably not far away from from the reality. Slap fighting is where two morons stand at arm's length from each other and take turns just going slap happy with each other. They're not allowed to move, flinch, or defend themselves in any way possible. Okay. Gee, that's not much of a fight now, is it? Hmm. Brings he hate me to a whole new meaning. Pretty dumb if you. Good question. Yeah. However, however, there has been some complications though, as one participant has already died in this. When Polish strongman Arthur Wallace was hospitalized for completing a slap fighting gala, succumbed to his injuries a few weeks later. So this is not to be taken lightly, guys. this is a sport and it seems very dangerous. And it's something I don't think I would want my kids to be involved in if I had kids or my nephew or anything, because this is just completely just a waste of a sport. Just dumb. Please do. Yeah. Right. Ooh. Okay. Well, it's very interesting. Okay, so I'll move on. I just think it was pretty stupid. Yeah, Dana, can you hold off on those other calls? Okay, so the Bucks have are a strong favorite to land free agent Gordon Tragic as very soon. Tragically waivers yesterday, around Thursday, with officials. Bucks are also sending Sir Miles Leonard to a second 10-day contract. Dana, do you mind? The Bucks and Dragic agreed to have him released waived this week, as now poised to join the Bucks after considering them before the Nets played with us a year ago. So that's a good move right there. Hold on a second. Okay, she has to go. All right, so and the Nets are making a strong one too because they signed also another player to have a 10-day contract. Just read that right here. Sorry, Father. I'm sorry, Pastor Francis had to leave. Oh. All right, so Nerlens Noel signed a 10-day contract with the Nets, as told by his agent George Langberg. After completing the buyout last week with the Pistons, Noel is set to join a team that needs size on the bench. And that's so true. This is his sixth team in 9 seasons. He's averaged a lousy 2.6 rebounds, 2.3 points in 14 games and 3 starts prior to the buyout. So this change will do him good, and will do us a bit of good too. Ugh. Pretty lousy though when you ask me about his scoring numbers. What do you really think of that? So moving on. Okay, where do I want to go here? And the Bruins right now have 102 points. Well, let's check. But they're just too good this year. And LaMelo Ball, yep, his season's done. The Hornets announced that the 3-year point guard underwent surgery on Thursday of his fractured right ankle and will miss the rest of the season. Ball was injured in Monday night's victory over the Pistons. Ball was limited to 36 games this season. He sprained his ankle 3 times this season, causing him 27 games. Okay, I think after 2, you should be out. And Bruins have won their 10th straight victory so far. Yeah. He did average 23.3 points per game, 8.4 assists, 6.4 rebounds, and 1.3 steals, and played an average of 35 minutes per game. During their 5-game winning streak, Ball made at least 5 3-pointers and is expected to make a full recovery this season, but as far as playing, his season is now done. Braun will be really evaluated in 3 weeks after having a foot injury. The team announced on Thursday. Lakers are 1-1 since winning on Sunday. They lost to the Grizzlies on Tuesday, but won against the Thunder on Thursday. LeBron was injured in Sunday's game on a drive to Dwight Powell in the third quarter. But I don't know if he's going to be around too much longer. I mean, he is 39 years old. All right, so here's another thing here. Now, of course, you all guys have heard of Lionel Messi, right? Right. Well, he was okay. Well, there was a gunman who sent a threatening message to him after attacking a supermarket owned by his wife's family in Argentina. Okay. As many as 14 shots were fired at the shutters and front door of the market called a district of Rosario, early on Thursday morning. Two individuals on a motorbike. There was no damage to the store, and no one was in. There was damage to the store, but thankfully, no one was injured. Police, also the attackers, left a threatening message note on a piece of cardboard and said, "Messi, we are waiting for you." The man is known as Javarkin, a drug dealer. He will not look after you. An investigation was underway. Pablo Javarkin is the mayor of Rosario, the largest city in the central province of Santa Fe. No, not Santa Fe, New Mexico now. It's 186 miles north of Buenos Aires. He's the mayor, and he wants Lionel Messi's head on a platter. Okay, now that I find kind of strange. The mayor wants your head. There must be something. There must be some kind of conspiracy with this. I mean, Messi's a popular player, but I guess some people just don't really like him. But the mayor, wow. Yeah, Dan, I think someone's being bugged here. Yeah, I think we had a crank caller somewhere. All right, so I mean, I kind of feel bad for Messi. I mean, this is coming just after he, won Soccer Player of the Year, and of course, won the World Cup. So and now this happens. Oh boy. All right. So okay, we'll go to this week in history now. As we got time, we'll take care of some other stuff in the last half hour as well. And remember, we go by the week here. Okay. I was lucky enough to get on today, guys, because I had some connection problems last night, and I'm in a location. So if there is any positive connection, I think you understand why. Okay. So way back in how about this? 1913, the Yankees are the first U.S. baseball team to train outside the U.S., as in Bermuda. Back in 1927, Babe Ruth became the highest player in MLB history when he signed a 3-year deal worth $70,000 per season contract with the Yankees. $70,000. Today that'd be nothing. Right, guys? Sam Lopresti faces a record 83 shots in a game in a loss to the Bruins in Boston. 1961, in the 8th ACC men's basketball tournament, Wake Forest beats Duke 96-81. No, Coach Krzyzewski was not doing that team back then. (1967) Right. 1967, America's skating darling, Peggy Fleming wins the World Figure Skating Championships in Vienna. Sorry, I'm more than Dorothy Hamill. Dorothy Hamill was my favorite. Sorry. 1968, Joe Frazier takes his record to 20-0 and captures the vacant World Heavyweight title, but stops Buster Mathis in 11th round TKO. I don't want to talk about Frazier. Oh, here's something interesting. 1970, Jacksonville is the first college basketball team to average 100 plus points per game. You heard me correct, Steve. In 1970, the year of my birth, the New York Rangers then record 126 games without being shut out. Huh. How about that, Mike? And to think they didn't win the Stanley Cup that year. Although we know who won that year, don't we, guys? Nope. No, I said 1970, not 1980. I said 70. Bruins, Bobby Orr with the leap goal. Yep. 1978, Duke beat Wake Forest in the ACC men's basketball tournament, 85-77. Krzyzewski still wasn't coaching that team. Speaking of 1980, the 40th hat trick in Islander history went to Mike Bossy. Oh, great. Of course. The start of that dynasty run. 1984, Martina Navratilova defends her WTA World Championship title and beats my favorite player, Chrissy Everett, 6'3", 7'5", 6'1", for her 5th overall championship title. 1993, the first ESPY Awards go to Michael Jordan and Monica Seles. 1995, George Foreman loses WA boxing title, refusing to fight Tony Tucker. Not for nothing, but at almost 50 years old at the time, I don't think he should have been fighting anyway. And 1995, for those of you who don't remember, the beginning of the 1995 baseball season wasn't played like you think it was, because that was played by replacement players as the Yankees beat the Mets 2-1. The actual start of the real season came in mid-April to start the season, because it was a carryover from the 1994 strike, which almost ruined baseball, which some people have not even recovered from yet. I think we all remember that, don't we? The 94 strike, for you baseball fans out there. Yeah. Now, for those of you who missed last week's question, I said, what does everybody think of the new rules in baseball this year? With, well, forget banning the shift, because that doesn't mean much. But with the pitching clock coming in, it's 15 seconds with nobody on and 20 seconds with the runner on, and of course, keeping the rule where you have the ghost runner on second base in extra innings. Am I the only one who thinks it's a great idea? Because you know what? I don't know what about things, but I like it. I mean, baseball has been dragging too long for quite some time now. And it's like it takes 3 hours and 20 minutes to get through a 9-inning game. I mean, the only things I think lasted longer were Titanic, Avatar, the Academy Award acceptance speech, and a Stanley Cup overtime hockey game. So, is it just me, or does anybody else think that this is a good idea? You know, I think this is a great idea. By an average of 25 minutes per game so far, though, in spring training. I mean, let's see what it does in the regular season when that starts March 30th. I mean, can it keep up the pace like that? Or are they just going to be like, well, let's see. We're in the 8th inning now, and we're clocking at 3 hours and 33 minutes here. So much for trying to be the gay people. And only one timeout per team, which I think is a good move there, because taking timeouts every so often really slows it up. And that's the last thing. Yeah. Yeah. I think somebody's being bugged on the line here. So it does. It does, I think, present a good flow of the game, especially among young people, because, they have such short attention spans. And I think this was, needed to bring in. And, of course, they also want to talk about trying to shorten college football games because, the college football games have been running kind of long, too, going 3.5 hours and whatnot. And it kind of messes up everybody else's trying to watch the other games and whatnot. And the advertisers are not that happy either when they want to get to the other shows, because they paid for that half hour when they want to sell their vacuum cleaners, or maybe oh gee, we must Mike the pillow guy again. Oh no, and they lose on that, so they want to try and shorten those games up so the advertisers can be happy for those stuff. It does take long, I mean, you stop the game at every timeout. I think you have to get rid of that because that really slows up the game. I think you got to do it like the NFL and just keep it going. They do need to make changes with the college game. You might as well not have the overtime then too, because that really drags up. Because we've seen the games where they've gone 3, 4, 7 overtimes, which is still the record. And when you get to that 2-point conversion where you have to make it, which I think is a little bit too easy, that can really add on the game too. So, Matt, your thoughts on college football trying to do the speed up game. Yeah. Yeah. Good luck on that one, right? Right. Steve. Yes. Steve, any thoughts? Yeah, but what about with college football trying to speed up their games, which I think they need to. I think there's a they make a point. Yeah, Mike. Let's see how well it goes over. And yeah, and of course, when everybody's switching conferences, it's going to be complicated as well. I don't like that with them switching conferences. I mean, I think you should stay where you are. I mean, that's been a recent topic in over the past year and a half. Okay, on to the WBC, which starts on Tuesday, and next week I'll look for us to have a report on that. Miguel Rojas, it's kind of like baseball's version of World Cup soccer, just without the soccer. Miguel Rojas is withdrawing from the WBC to stay with his Dodgers teammates at his new position at shortstop. Rojas told reporters he is withdrawing from his team, Venezuela, was a mutual decision between him and the Dodgers, who named him between him and the Dodgers, named the 10-year vet a replacement in the injured Gavin Lux. Rojas told reporters that he can get more at bats staying with the Dodgers in spring training than for Venezuela, where he would be just more of a utility role. Rojas did keep the possibility of joining Venezuela if they advance far enough in the WBC, but then thought remaining with the Dodgers would be best for him and the organization. Well, I've always thought about, I think it's also an honor to play for your country as well, but you are a major league player, and I think they're going to kind of need you, especially as you gear up for spring training. And, because if you get injured in the tournaments, it could be, a serious setback as you try to get back to your Major League Baseball team. So I get the reason behind it. It's a tough decision, though, when you think about it. Okay, Steve, I know you're going to have thoughts on this one. Sad news with the for football fans, especially the Carolina Panthers, as founder Jerry Richardson passed away at the age of 86. Mr. Richardson, yes, Mr. Richardson was celebrated for bringing Carolina in 1985, but also that's been tarnished after reports of sexual and racial misconduct in the workplace. His contributions to pro football to the Carolinas are historic, set by current owners David and Nicole Tepper. With the Panthers arriving in 95, he changed the landscape of sports in the Carolinas that gave the fans a team to call their own. Richardson was forced to sell the team in 2017 to Tepper for $2.2 billion after allegations of sexual and racial misconduct. Richardson was also a former player himself. He was drafted by the Colts back in 1959. That's true. And threw a touchdown pass to a very well-known NFL player in the title game back in 1959. Steve, you want to take a guess who that is? Unitas. Unitas. Yeah. No, that was 56. This was in 59. The greatest game was in 1956. Yeah. And the Tampa Bay Yucks are for 55 million over the cap, plan to release Cameron Bright, the tight end. His cap hit of 5 million is set to release one of several moves made by the Bucks to be compliant with the cap. Like anybody's compliant with the cap anyway. The Bucks also informed that running back Leonard Fournette would also be released and save the team $3.5 million cap space. Okay, that's a problem. You're going to get rid of Fournette, your best player. I know what you guys are thinking at home. Say what? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bright was an undrafted pickup. Bright was an undrafted pickup of Harvard in 2014. Has stayed with the Bucks then, released from the practice squad a year later, then was picked up by the Saints, then re-signed by the Bucks days later, and was the longest tenured offensive player on the team. He missed 6 games last season after suffering a concussion in week 4, then returned in week 6, but then has sprained neck in week 7. No wonder you're getting cut. Smart move. I mean, when you got something like that, that can really last up your insurance policy. Okay, on to some good news of the week. How many of you have heard of a guy named Joe Montana? Okay, that was a trick question. So anyway, the jersey worn by Big Joe in 2 Super Bowl victories with the 49ers was sold for $1.2 million at buyer's minimum, breaking a record paid for a football jersey sold in an auction. The jersey brokered through Collectibles Marketplace Golden. The previous record was a mere $480,000, worn by Bucks quarterback Tom. What's his name? Tom Brady. Okay, I had to do it. Montana first wore the jersey in Super Bowl 19 in a rout over the Dolphins, 38-16. Then 4 years later, and I think was one of the best Super Bowl of all time, against the Bengals on a 92-yard winning drive with 48 seconds to go and being the Bengals, 20-16. Oh, yeah. Now that was a Super Bowl. The drive with 46 seconds left. The morning of Super Bowl 23, his wife pulled the jersey from the scrapbook and packed it into Joe's stadium bag with a note saying, "Here, you might want to wear this again." And so he did. And now somebody's got that for a price of $1.2 million. Wow. Yeah. Lucky guy. Yeah. And that was a game. That Super Bowl, I think, was one of the best Super Bowls ever. Of course, I know what some of you guys are thinking. Oh, the greatest ever. What about the catch? I'm not going there. Sorry. I'm not going there. Okay. The Royals signed Jackie Bradley Jr. to a minor league deal and was invited to spring training. He will have the opportunity to earn playing time in a wide open outfield. The Royals recently traded center fielder Michael A. Taylor to the Twins for pitching prospects, and Drew Waters appeared to be first in line, but suffered an oblique strain and is expected to miss the start of the season, leaving the Royals with intriguing competition in spring trading. Bradley will need to overcome Kyle Isabel and others if he wants the starting job. Bradley played for the Red Sox for 8 seasons and was an all-star known for his defense, but as for his plate appearances, lackluster. He signed a 2-year, $25 million deal with the Brewers 2 years ago, but only batted .163. Weak. And then was sent back to the Red Sox, after being released, and then headed north to the Blue Jays. In better late than never. How you holding up, pal? I know, and our thoughts are with you. Gerald recently suffered a personal loss last week, and we understand why he wasn't able to be here. But I'm glad that he is here. You know, and our thoughts and prayers are with you, pal. We're just glad you made it. So he had 4. You made it. He had a measly 4 home runs and 30 RBIs for the Red Sox and Blue Jays last season, batting a more respectable 204, which is better than a 163 any day of the week. Yeah. All right. So I wish Pastor was still here. At the Combine, Eric Destrota was asking if he would consider trading Lamar Jackson at some point, and responded that few teams have made more trades than since he became the Ravens general manager 4 years ago. That being as I covet great players, I love Lamar, DaCosta telling reporters at the Combine. So that is not factored in with me. We want what's best for the team. We try to do what we can for Lamar. DaCosta expressed hope that a deal can be reached before next week's tag deadline. So far, no luck. Sorry. If there is no agreement by then, the Ravens will have to use the tag to keep Jackson to becoming from a free agent, which I don't think they want to do because that is their prime player, their pride and joy. Lamar, you can't leave us. You're like a son to me. Oh boy. Please don't go. Don't go. Oh, okay. Never mind. Yes. The tag clear up would take up all the Ravens cap space and severely limit what they can do in free agency. Okay, not cool there. Which includes signing a wide receiver and a starting quarterback. You can't win without a strong quarterback. No kidding. That has been proven, said DaCosta. So we want Lamar. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league and probably the best quarterback, period. He is one of our best players, and we want him back. According to sources, Jackson was a full guarantee that was given to Deshaun Jackson. Oh boy. The Ravens have been reluctant to do so because Watson's deal was made more of an outlier than a precedent. DaCosta calls it a tough negotiation, but then again, negotiations are never easy to begin with. With Jackson, who was one of the few high-profile players to represent himself rather than a free agent. Gerald, you want to comment on that? Okay, well, you're probably right. I jumped the gun that bit. Okay, one of them, but I think as far as maybe Ravens fans think, they probably think that he is. Oh, yes. Really? Okay. Yes, you're right. I'll give you that. Burrow is great. And Joe Leclerc, none. One. Two. You're right. I lost count. Yeah. Yes. Right. Okay. I gotta speed along. I gotta speed up a bit. Joe Leclerc, likely the closer for the Rangers, will miss the WBC due to neck discomfort set by manager Bruce Bochy. Leclerc was slated to pitch for the Dominican Republic. He had this problem with his neck, said Bochy. We don't think it'll be wise for him to send down because 100%, especially with the season coming up in 3 weeks. He wanted to represent his homeland, but also knows this is where he works and is needed here. He returned from Tommy John surgery in June after missing all of 2020 and 2021, went 0-3 with an ERA of 2.3 and 7 saves. So it is tough luck there. But you got to play where you're needed too. Although I do think it's an honor to play for your country, but you have to go where the work is, as the saying goes. And there was one more, yeah, and Jonathan Isaac is out after ending surgery. Well, that's tough luck on that part too. Training as well as in the regular season. And Vlad Guerrero Jr. also left with the injury with knee discomfort. He was seen walking towards the clubhouse with a train in the second inning and was replaced by Rainier Nunez to start the third. His dad was a great player too for Montreal. Manager John Schneider said, "We're just checking out to see how he feels, and we're just playing it safe." So it doesn't look to be all that serious. So I think he'll be back. Oh. And at the combine, Michigan cornerback, I said cornerback, not quarterback now, ran the 40-yard dash at 4.26 seconds yesterday. Though not a record, it was rather impressive. This was the fourth fastest 40-yard dash in the last 20 years. Wide receiver John Ross had a 4.22, which is the fastest on record. Vikings cornerback Kalon Barnes had a 4.23 last year. Turner, who spent 2 years at Michigan, was the fastest player on two groups on defensive backs, and they were on the field in workouts yesterday. Players are given 2 attempts at the 40 in each of the combine workouts, but Turner chose not to run the second. He started in 14 games last season for Michigan, ranked 155th overall, but 5th among cornerbacks. So there's a good chance he could be fitting well in the draft. And how about this for a rare moment? It's only spring training, but yet we got a no-hitter, as the Cubs had 6 relievers pitch a no-hitter yesterday against the Padres. This was the first no-hitter in spring training of any kind in 6 years. The last time was when the Angels blanked the Mariners. If it was regular season, it'd be worth mentioning, but since it's only spring training, nobody really cares. Because as some of you might know, you can't compare spring training baseball to college basketball, especially this time of year. Enough said. All right, so we're almost at the end of the show. I want to thank some of our new co-hosts. Matthew, it was nice to hear from you finally on the show. I hope you do get a chance to come back. Good. Same time, same station. Brother Pastor Francis, I hope you do come back. I'm sorry you had to take off so soon, but I hope you do come back. Betty, it was wonderful to hear from you again. It's been a long time, and I hope you do come back even more. And, so please come back and call again. Of course, we're here every Saturday, just after 4 o'clock to around 6 o'clock, because I got to make way for Rasul, who's coming up, and I want to give him, of course, his share. And he does a fine job, so you get a chance to call his show. Same number, just a different time. Yeah. So with about 2 minutes and change, I better get out of here. We don't have the 5-minute clock anymore. How about that? I was wondering what happened to that. Because it used to show up at 5 minutes before the end of each show. Well, I have a digital clock here anyway, so it does help. I keep track of time very well. We just hope you're feeling better, Gerald. That's more important. But I'm glad you came this week. So on that note, I wish you all pleasant good evening and a good week. And I hope to see you back next week, same time, same station. So on that note, good night, everybody. I know. Wait till I get off, guys. Wait till I get off.
You have just been enhanced by Lou Tenor and Steve Davidson. See you next Saturday at the same time, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Have a wonderful week from the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network.